Love where you live and play with Lindsey Management. Affordable apartments and golf memberships at 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling? Trust Lindsey and Associates. Serving the community for over 50 years. Lindsey, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
Want to run faster, jump higher, move with more power? The Sports Recovery and Development Program at Bridges Therapy Group builds speed, strength, agility, and endurance while correcting movement issues that can cause injury. Give your athlete the edge. Schedule an assessment today at srdathlete.com. The Rogers Mounties coming off a bye, ready to start 7A conference play, and we introduce you to this week's Lindsey Boys Athlete of the Week. It is Tuesday, September 23rd, and this is Varsity Vibe Today. Welcome into Varsity Vibe Today on this Tuesday. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange, and high school football teams around the state and our area getting ready to kick off conference play on Friday. For one team specifically, the Rogers Mounties, they're coming off a bye. So let's get to it. This is our Lewis Automotive opening drive, the fall kickoff event happening now at the Lewis Automotive Group. Unbeatable prices and special financing. Your next vehicle is ready for you now at one of their 3 locations in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington. Over the last 5 seasons since taking over the Rogers Mounties football program, head coach Chad Harbison has continued to put the building blocks in place for this team to win their very first state title. Coming off a bye week, they're 3-0 on the year and really setting the tone specifically offensively when it comes to what this Rogers Mounties team is going to look like this year and their identity. They're able to put up big points. They're able to shut down teams on defense. Just look at the scores. 41-3 a win over North Little Rock, 47-6 over Muskogee, 84-40 over Sheridan. That's a game where he was able to give a lot of his starters some rest because of how dominant they were in the first half. Now they're getting ready for conference play. This is the real deal. And for head coach Chad Harbison, talking with him, he says, we're focused, we're ready, and we know how much of a grind this 7A West is going to be. A 3-0 start for your guys, coach. I remember asking you when I came out to practice in August, how do you feel about your team? And you said, I like my team. I just am ready to see how they play against other teams. And I think that they've pretty much made a statement 3 games into the season.
Yeah, I mean, we've played well, and the guys that everybody expects to play well have played well. And I think the other thing we talked about too is how well is everybody else going to play? You know, we got obviously Braxton, Lindsey, and Jeff Reagan are really good players, and everybody knows that. But it's the guys around. I'm really, really, really impressed at how well our offensive line's coming together and how well they're playing. The addition of Titus Kramer at running back, in our receiving core. I mean, we just offensively we've been able to spread the ball. I think we had like 8 different people score the other night. It's just, and that's really good to see that it's not just a one-man show. So, and if we can continue to be, pretty diverse that way where we spread the ball around, it certainly makes it a lot better for us going down the stretch.
Offensively, when you put up 84 points, everything feels like it's going right. And for Jeff Reagan to really orchestrate the offense early on this season like he has, how has it really just made a statement with his leadership, this offense, and really picking up where he left off last season?
Yeah. Well, and he's really come into his own from a leadership perspective, I think, just because he's finally realized that he's our quarterback. It took a long time for us to convince Jeff that that's where we needed him to play. And so he went probably through half of the season last year really not, and until we kind of opened things up in conference play and let him do what he is good at and just kind of turned it over to him, he was a little bit frustrated. He didn't want to play there. So it's been cool to see him kind of take that role and start to own that role. And, and then obviously he's excelling in it now. And so our guys just love him and they trust him. And I mean, you've interviewed him, you've talked to him. It's just an unbelievable good kid. And it's somebody everybody pulls for. He's that guy, and so it's just been fun to watch him and watch him grow. And then I think dudes that play with him play really hard for him, and that's what you got to have in that position.
You talk about his leadership. What about the leadership of Braxton Lindsey, his senior season, what he's capable of doing, not just offensively, but defensively as well?
Yeah. We talk about Jeff, but at the end of the day, our team goes as Braxton goes. Mm. And so, and this is real true even when he was young. He played for us. He started and was all conference for us as a freshman. I don't think people really knew who he was, but he stood out as a freshman at outside backer for us. And maturity's been really good for him. He's still a young senior. I mean, both of these guys, age-wise, could be juniors this year, and so they're kind of young to be seniors. Actually, they both could be in another class, but just to watch his growth. And I think last year was kind of his coming out party year. Mm-hmm. And when he started getting recruited at the high level and started getting that attention, and then we could sit down, we could really have those conversations about, if you want to be that dude, you got to be this dude every day. And he has really started to own that and become that guy that we really count on. If he actually practices hard. Every rep, he practices like he plays, and it takes a while for a kid to understand how important that is. And Braxton he's the leader in that regard on our football team, because now we can use him as an example to the younger guys. Mm-hmm. Braxton catches the ball on air, and man, he's making moves. He's working on something all the time, and I think that separates him.
And also, too, you're playing both sides of the ball. From a coach's perspective, just how difficult is it for him to play at such a high level going both ways?
He managed it really well. Are we in the type of shape he needs to be in yet, getting as we head into conference? Probably not. But he's one of those guys, too, like Friday night, after we have the game in hand, we have to get him off the field. He just takes off. He's going to get somebody out. He's going, and you have to tell him, "Hey, you're done." And he gets frustrated because he don't want to be done. But I love that about him. I mean, he wants every snap he can possibly play, and we have to be really, really strategic about going into the game with a game plan of how we rest him and what that looks like schematically for us, because when he's on the field, people know where he's at. And we've already noticed in the 3 games we played, it affects how people line up to us on offense, or on defense. I mean, and so it just he manages it great, but we have to do a good job of keeping him fresh, so in the 3rd and 4th quarter he can do what he's capable of doing.
When your offense is putting up numbers like they have and points like they have, how does that motivate the defense for you guys?
Well, obviously, up until the other night, we've given up, I think, 9 points in the first 2 games. And so we feel really good defensively. We haven't gotten up any big plays, 1 or 2 a game. But the other night we had some big plays. It was nice for our guys to know, hey, our offense is going to be able to score, and they can just keep going out there and being who they are, and until they got it figured out. Then when they got the timely stops when we needed them, and once that happened, then we were able to score and get the 2-score lead, then the 3-score lead, and start separating the game. I think it really helps. We complement each other really well.
When a coach like Kevin Kelly, after that Sheridan game, said to the newspaper, quote, "They might be the best team overall in the state." As the opposing coach who is talking about your team, what does a compliment like that say to you?
Well, I mean, obviously Kevin's really well known and well respected around our state and the coaching world, and that means a lot. I'm not sure I agree with him just yet, but it's a high compliment, and we got a lot to prove, and we got a lot of. We're fixing to be tested pretty good here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. It's going to get really, really tough. So, I think when we talked earlier, it's just I appreciate him saying all those things, and that's nice and all. But at the same time, we got to get better every day and just keep doing what we do and just be who we are and stay involved and stay engaged in our process.
Throughout the entire 7A West, again, Northside been tested early. First-year head coach and Don Maroc, when you look at that team and you look at the tape and getting your guys prepared, how much is it really focused on you guys just taking care of your business and not focusing on necessarily how the first 3 games have gone for Northside?
Yeah, I think things change when you get into conference no matter what. You can kind of throw the records out the window. You really can. And so, I can already tell they're improved, especially on offense. They're better and they have more of an identity than they may have had in the past. And so, but like I said, I think we got to continue to be who we are and do what we do and make sure that we don't help people by making the mistakes in the crucial times of a game that could potentially get you beat.
Yeah, well, I know there's a lot of football left to play. Conference is going to be exciting if the start of the season is any indication. Coach, thanks so much. And again, good luck. I'm excited to see Rogers play the rest of the year.
We appreciate you.
Again, their first game of conference play on Friday against Fort Smith Northside, that game at 7 p.m. Coming up after the break, we introduce you to this week's Lindsey Boys Athlete of the Week.
If you're an athlete that wants to improve your game, maybe improve your 40, jump higher, have better agility, Bridges Therapy Group's Sport Recovery and Development Program can help. They've been helping student athletes reach their highest potential for quite a while now. They've got a team that includes physical therapists, athletic trainers, personal trainers, and occupational therapists. And together, they design individual plans to build speed, explosive power, agility, strength, and endurance. Whether your athlete's returning from rehab or working for a competitive edge, SRD provides the training and guidance to help them succeed. Schedule your athlete's assessment today at srdathlete.com.
Quick Turf is the go-to team for building championship-level sports facilities for public schools, private schools, and the entire school district. They also install beautiful backyard putting greens for homeowners. Known for lifelike, eco-friendly turf, Quick Turf handles everything from design and lighting to drainage and final landscaping. Their all-in-one approach delivers high-performance surfaces for athletes and low-maintenance greens that last for years. With preventative maintenance programs, they keep every field and green looking game day ready. Schedule a free consultation today at quickturf.com. That's QIKturf.com.
Matt Lewis with Lewis Automotive Group, excited to announce our trade-in, trade-up event. During this event, you get thousands extra for your trade value. Plus, it's all backed by the Lewis Guarantee. Double the factory warranty. That's a 10-year, 120,000-mile powertrain. Plus, you get 1 year worth of maintenance on us. This event's only going on at Lewis Automotive Group and is at all of our locations in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington.
Could a little extra support help your child shine even brighter? Bridges Therapy Group empowers kids to live their best life with expert pediatric therapy services tailored to their needs. Their team offers occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy, guiding families from the first evaluation to every milestone along the way. Give your child the tools to succeed and shine. Visit btgpeds.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today. That's btgpeds.com.
Love where you live and play with Lindsey Management. Enjoy affordable apartments with community amenities like fitness centers and resort-style pools at select locations. Golf memberships are also available at beautiful 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling a home, commercial, or investment property? Trust Lindsey & Associates, serving the community and bringing great neighbors together for over 50 years. Lindsey, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
This week's Lindsey Boys Athlete of the Week going to Shiloh Christian quarterback Cole Creighton, completing 13 of his 15 passes last Friday in a big-time win over Bethany, 70-0. A shutout that also had 284 passing yards for Creighton, as well as 3 touchdowns. And it's definitely what this Saints team wanted to do heading into this week, where they open up 6A conference play with rivals Greenwood. That is going to be quite a showdown between Shiloh and Greenwood. And when you got a guy like Cole Creighton leading your offense, I know they feel really good, the Saints do, about their chances down in Greenwood. When you look at what they've done since the season started, they got the win 44-13 over Little Rock Christian to open up this season. They fell in their second game 41-33, but again, that 72-0 win on Friday, a big time statement by Cole Creighton and company for Shiloh Christian. So congratulations to him. He is our Lindsey Boys Athlete of the week. That is going to do it for today's Varsity Vibe today. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to our newsletter, and make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms for everything you need for high school athletics. A special shout out to our sponsors, Lindsey, Lewis Automotive, Bridges Therapy Group, and Quick Turf. I'll see you tomorrow.